Good morning and welcome back to Sun Up on 7. In case you missed that dynamic conversation with Honorable Usher, you need to go back and check that out. He dealt with a whole array of topics this morning. But we're jumping into our second topic, and we are here joined with Miss Briheda Haylock, who is an artist. But before we get into that topic there, we have a video that we would like to show, and it's called The Mental Cage, which was done by her.
I can't remove it. It's right here. I kept feeling the sensation I got by the time I reached the end and I came back and I looked at you again. I realized what I was feeling. I felt a sense of being trapped. I felt trapped, like I lost my freedom. That's how I felt. I kept trying to wonder what the handcuffs were, and I'm thinking, and that's painful. And there's also a sense of fear. You get a sense of fear. There was a sense of fear that we went through as well. I tell myself, let's go. I couldn't.
My personal feelings might be a little bit mixed. I think I felt, to the contrary, I felt comfort. Because at first the first impression you get all these feelings of mixed fear, trapped and so on, but then you get a sense of comfort because we're all trapped in our little bubbles and we forget that so did everybody else. Everybody else felt that same pain in their own way or form. And when you read what people are writing, it's like, yeah, I felt that too. So you kind of don't feel alone, but yet alone all at the same time. Honestly, I was not uncomfortable because I guess when I look at it, I can see that you're trying to evoke that emotion in people. I mean, I did not stick a pin in because I'm just not that type of person. But it's not because I'm afraid that it'll hurt you. It's just that, I'm just observing and I'm trying to just taking it all in. I would not say I was uncomfortable, but I could say I could appreciate the raw beauty of it.
To be honest with you, I think very little can compare to living art, like what I saw. I think coming in, it was a very, very powerful expression of what women go through. I think just generally. So I believe it was focused. I don't know if it was like a pandemic situation, but. Perhaps just because of the film and social work and knowing the plight of women, it's a scary image of what women experience emotionally, and it's tragic. Because I can't. I'm sorry, I just can't do that. Because, sorry. Just because that's not what we do. I mean, I was struggling with that. I know some people, actually I think most people that pain were females. I mean, I don't know if there was a pain associated to it, but I think we need to, in a very metaphorical way, we do hurt people we love.
Guys, so that was a beautiful video just now, and it is done by Briheda Haylock. So welcome to our couch this morning.
Finally got you here.
Yes.
Yes.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. It's been a while, it's been a minute.
That's okay. We all family. We having a conversation. It's not an interview. We are have fun. If you want cha-cha-cha and dance to that girl, we got you in every single way.
Thank you.
No worry.
So we just watched The Mental Cage. Could you tell us what that was about?
So the mental cage is dedicated to the pandemic. I wanted to explore what people went through because actually it's more a release of what people went through. We all were stuck for 2 years at home. That did cause some psychological damage that we're not talking about. And I wanted people to release that pain. And it's also a way that we can feel seen and heard and not so lonely of what we went through. So what I loved about the piece was I had my audience explain to me what they went through the pandemic. That's what you're seeing on my back was written on the post-its. The pins now symbolize the anxiety, that anguish. So it was to recreate that anguish that you went through. I mean, no one wants to stick a pin in another human being.
I was about to say.
So for me, it's the pin thing is something I associate with anxiety. It's a concept I created probably 5 years ago, and I wanted to bring it back. I actually designed this piece 5 years ago, but I finally found an appropriate setting for it. Sometimes art isn't about creating an idea and doing it right away. You need to find the appropriate timing, and I felt like this was appropriate. And what I loved about it was one person, after sharing their experience, they were like, thank you. It's like, thank you for asking, thank you for caring. And I did this performance piece twice. I did it for a collective art group that was visiting Belize, and they loved it. And after that performance, I was actually recruited into their art collective. This is why I kind of wanted to show it, because one is a bit extreme to my Belizean society. But this is the group that I shared it with. But to people outside who are aware of performance art, it's good work,
Right.
And, with that piece, it was a success because I've never had the dialogue when it comes to performance. But with the group that I met early this year, they told me their experience and how it affected them and how it helped them. So, my intentions was successful for the piece. So, that made me extremely happy. And that's all you want as an artist, is to create that impact of change or realization, especially with my work. It may come off a little bit odd, but there is a pure intention of causing healing for my audience.
No, I can clearly see that
Yeah.
because, as you mentioned, the symbolism behind, the needles, everything. Also asking people. I think we ask people a lot, but to put it in an art form, I feel that representation because so many people, I'm sure, so many people share the same sentiments. A lot of
Yes.
people, although we had our individual struggles, we weren't struggling individually. Everybody, the country, the world was struggling.
Yes.
And so because of that, I feel like this performance, this piece, embodies all the struggles in a small form that they can be able to see visually
Yes.
and know that, okay, this is happening. How do I connect to this? And you're right, it is a little bit different from what Belizeans are used to, but we need to have some change. We need to see and get a different taste of what is out there, what art can be. Because when you hear an artist performance,
Right.
This is more like conceptual.
Right.
performance,
Conceptual.
it's different for people. We're not used to that.
And this is why I'm trying to create a change in the art industry and start an art class based
Right.
on conceptual art. And, the youths are interested, but I think their parents are scared. My class isn't about encouraging kids to stick pins in them or be nude or anything. I foster my artist individuality. I have artists that I guide, and they're nothing like me. They're their own person. I have this one artist. She loves painting pets, and what she does is she fundraises for foster dogs. That's what she uses her art. In a way, she got that. That's her way of maybe mimicking me or anything. That's what I provide, and fostering that artist individuality, making them the best version of themselves. Because right now I have a young artist, my cousin. My aunt was like, he likes art, let's see how you can work with him. And I see his talent, and I'm like, it's not me. We don't have anything in common artistically, but my challenge for him is, okay, I see your style. I want you to be an original artist. So his homework is he has to create 3 original pieces telling me exactly who he is. So I'm trying to figure out, and I'm trying to let my artists that I mentor figure out who they are artistically. It's important for me that the artists that I work with know their voices. So within the summer camp that I've designed for the youths, it's all about them building their self-confidence. It's about them learning themselves. Self-awareness is very important when it comes to performance. You need to know your limit. You need to understand what your voice is. So the class is geared to an introduction of finding yourself.
This is, I mean, like, I'm blown right now because first time I'm seeing conceptual art like that. But to understand that, yes, each individual is their own person with their own background, their own story to tell and everything like that, I could imagine how dynamic your summer camp will be.
Because you have to figure out your own voice. And I think often artists,
That
especially when
takes
it comes to
deep
commission.
dive.
Yes, it is, and it's very beautiful to see. Like when I'm mentoring and when I see these kids find their voice, it's beautiful, and they're giving back to the community as well in their own way. You know, you're not seeing any little Briheda Haylocks sticking pins in them. It's like it's only me. So like, if people have fear, that's what I'm going to teach their kids. No, it's not. It's to help them find themselves.
Could you tell us a little bit about, when this art camp is how long it's gonna run, what are the criteria? But I know you said it's an artist that's trying to be able to discover themselves. But for people out there that, are hearing this segment and they're thinking, what do I need to qualify? Where it'll be located? All these, is there a price?
Well, I'm welcoming teens from 13 to 18. I want to work with the youths. They're like my favorite age group to work with. It will be at the Bliss Center. There's a cost of $60. I have extended it to the sign up to tomorrow because I did a poor marketing. Like, I'm a little bit busy, so it's hard to really focus on the marketing aspect. But they have up until tomorrow to sign up. I will extend the days just a little bit just to catch up because it was supposed to start tomorrow. I do have youths that are interested, but like I said, I think the parents are scared, so it's kind of being the block. So I'm hoping today's conversation would change the mindset, because for me, it's like a great opportunity to have another outlet for youths to express themselves. Not everyone wants to learn an instrument or do theater or dance, Maybe this outlet will help those kids. And, that's my goal. And I do hope to extend it to an older audience because my peers have been asking. They want to explore this medium along with me. So I'm excited to develop for my peers.
Definitely. I mean, like, I just learning about it today, I'm like, wow, Brandon, what could you do? Like,
what represents you, Brandon?
And that's the thing. Well, besides food, right? But
I mean,
lunch chicken wings, Brandon will have on the art form, and I would love that. That would be a taste.
But you say no, that would go towards gluttony.
Yes, and you can explore that in a conceptual way.
Exactly. There we go.
That would be really cool.
I took art in sixth form,
I love it for you. I love it for you. But the time frame too as well. You said how you're going to push back the starting date, but how long would the camp actually run to?
Well, it's supposed to end on the 23rd of July. I do have another project coming up, so I just wanted to maybe take the days back during the week because I'm only offering it 3 days a week.
Okay, 3 days a week.
Yeah, I want a little break so you can sit and reflect on what we're doing. I'm going to encourage the kids to do research because when I was studying, we'd go to class and we had to perform on the spot. Our teacher would bring these odd things and we had 10 minutes to create an idea.
Make magic.
Yes, so I want to teach the kids one of my process, which is planning. I sit, I think I have the idea, and then I sit again and I think, okay, what can I do to make this better? Is it the original concept as strong as if I would add more elements to it? Because there's one that I'm creating right now as we speak. And, I'm trying to figure out, okay, because sometimes with conceptual art, it's not just you. You can invite your audience into your playground, and they're the ones performing. They're the ones being engaged. So just like how I have the people sticking the pins, I enjoy that interaction. And I love that, I love the impact that it has. There's one piece that I did, which was, thank you, I deserved it. So brace yourself a little bit. I had my audience locked in the gallery space. They could not come out. The rules were you needed to slap me 7 times before you left. So what I was doing was I was exploring domestic violence, but not looking at the person being hit as the victim. But I wanted my audience to explore the mindset of the abuser. We tend to focus on the victim.
Right.
I want to care for them, but let's look at the abuser. What's going through their mind? Why is this power so important to them to hurt the person that they love? You know, so I wanted my audience to explore that. Not all of them hit me. Some of them were very gentle, and even in that act, it affected me because like I'm getting these kisses on my cheek, you know, feeling the care from my audience. I mean, they were told they had to hit me, but I didn't give them, you have to hit me hard. We all had a conversation when every person approached me. And to be honest, I was crying throughout the whole thing. I was blindfolded, crying, because I mentally prepared for the physical part,
Right.
you know, but the emotional part that I went through too, I didn't expect that. And like some of the conversations, you know, it was beautiful. And I really wanted to see how uncomfortable people were going to be to have someone brave enough to stop it. And no one stopped it. They had a conversation like, this isn't right, but no one stopped it. So that shows you we're in a society where we're comfortable seeing something uncomfortable, but not uncomfortable enough to stand up.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was a takeaway from that piece.
I really feel, and that highlights exactly what you said. We're such a complacent society in terms of these pressing issues, such as domestic violence. I could imagine also you see a beautiful side to it because of the fact you're blindfolded. You don't know what's coming for you.
No.
But then you feel a kiss on this cheek or a gentle caress on the other.
Yeah.
And you're just there like, you know what? Wow, okay.
You're seeing the side of compassion,
Right.
which I did not expect. It was beautiful, but it was also emotional.
Terrifying at the same time as well. I could imagine.
And again, that is something many people aren't used to when it comes to art and expression, understanding how art can evoke a different mentality towards things. Like you said, understanding. I'm sure these people too can be able to understand, like, I don't want to hit somebody.
Yeah.
And that's why some people decided not to hit too as well. So in that overall scene, that moment, they're like, this is not me.
'Cause-
But then
yeah.
that kind of makes you reflect.
I mean, the
Do
people
I want to use violence at some point?
the people who felt obligated to hit me, they went through. I did a video diary section. I didn't want to show it because I don't want to reveal any
Yeah.
of
Right.
the, you know. They're like, I can't believe I did that. Like, you know, they question their human nature. Even with the mental cage, people question their human nature of enjoying hurting someone. Like, I had a friend who shared his experience, and he's like, you know what, Bri, I enjoy hurting you. And thank you for allowing me in that moment, you know, to do so. So, like, it really brings out our human nature. Well,
And then
with some of
something
the
that we have to
pieces.
address to the self-awareness that we're not aware of.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we talk a lot on the show about how we have to understand ourselves to know how we, you know, portray ourselves to other people, how we react in relationships and situations. And so I think your art is also pushing people to a different limit
Yes.
to say, how do I react in these situations? So I'm really encouraging the parents. I know you mentioned that there's some parents that have, you know, their setbacks or so. She's not asking for you guys to slap her or to have pin stick inside your child or whatever it is, but it is going to give your child that safe space to come in and learn what makes him or her tick. What do they like to do? What they don't
Yes.
like to do as well.
Let them
Get
know
research.
themselves on a whole.
And that's
Yes.
it. Because a lot, and I was mentioning that, you know, with art sometimes we do commission work. So because of the commission work, you're doing for other people. So you're
Yeah.
not ever really doing it for yourself sometimes.
Well, that's where you need to draw the line of, yes, I can do this, but do I want to do it?
Yes.
Right.
So it's learning that for yourself as an artist, because you know you want to be able to be very versatile, but at the same time, as you discover yourself, like, yes, I can do it, but I really don't want to. It doesn't best represent me. And for my classes, I'm only accepting like up to 10 students
Okay.
because it's very individual based. I want to focus on each child, and I want to create a safe environment as well, because, you know, they're strangers, they're going to be vulnerable. with what they choose to discuss, because another aspect of my class is we're going to explore our spirituality. What you find a lot in performance art, artists connecting to their spirituality. So I want them to get more familiar with it, like with their religion or whatever it is that they believe. Because it also brings some sort of comfort. Because as I dive more into it, I'm bringing my spirituality more. Like, I didn't bring any pictures of it, but I had this one very spiritual piece. I was on the beach of Banten in Indonesia, and I decided because of the experience, I needed to like release all the negativity that I was experiencing. So it was just me starting on the beach, walking in a circle, and which each circle I created, I remove an article of clothing. And by the time that I walked in and I started running, like just releasing this anger that I had, and then I just washed myself off into the ocean, and I felt great. It was like a baptism for myself.
Right. Uh-huh.
So like performance art, there's so much you can explore with it for yourself, for advocacy, because it is an art form based on rebellion. So it's something fun, and I just want to help youths find their individual voice through this medium if nothing else is working for them.
Oh,
Definitely.
that's
And
beautiful.
It's exciting. So, can you give us your contact information for people that are hearing this segment? They're like, you know what? I think this is exactly what I need. Or a parent that's hearing it, I think this is exactly what my child needs. They're struggling with whatever it is. What's the contact information?
Well, they can send me a text message on WhatsApp at 628025. I will send in the form because I want to get an idea of who your child is and how we can work together. I'm also looking at if they have social anxiety and how we can work with that as well, because those things are important to acknowledge in a child. I'm not going to dismiss that, a child is shy. We're going to work through that together as we progress through the program.
So we know 10 slots is the capacity that you're holding for. We already have people that are taking up those slots. So you got to act fast if you want to make sure you're able to get your slot in Briheda's amazing camp. Guys, 13 to 18 years old, this is your avenue to find your voice, find your image, find who you are, and discover how you want to express yourself through your art. So I just really want to thank you for bringing something different.
Definitely.
Giving a new taste of how art is depicted in Belize, so people can, I wouldn't say just change their mentality, but add something else to what they can see art to be.
Yeah, I want
that's
people
important.
to find their confidence too.
Definitely.
That's
and
one
so
thing
important.
lacking, and I want to really build more confident artists.
So confident artists, or artists on a whole, if you want that confidence, Briheda got your back. And so with that, we go to our next commercial break. When we're back, we're going to be wrapping up today's show. Stay tuned.